Agatha's house. Ah, I see. Fascinating. Autumn reveals all. The goddess of order approves. I need to find the next moon seal. Cathan's dark influence has tainted this well. Autumn be praised. Autumn shall lead the way.
I should have known you'd wind up here eventually. You were somehow always here as a child.
If only I had known him. And still you masked even this from me. My own father's grave.
It wasn't you I was hiding it from. I've been making a lot of apologies to you lately. Now, they probably don't mean that much. But I am sorry, Hunter. Lilith's relationship with your father went against our ways, our purpose, or so I believed at the time. It was the Elder Gods themselves who first breathed life into us. Human notions like falling in love couldn't possibly be part of their plan.
And then you met Agatha.
If only I'd realized it sooner. I might have been a little kinder towards him, especially at the end.
What happened?
A great sickness came upon this area just before you were born. Your father was one of the first to fall.
With all your power, the two of you, you could not save him?
Lilith was a gifted healer, but this was no ordinary plague. The corruption went beyond his physical body. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
What did Lilith do?
She did what anyone would have done. She grieved. But in her grief, she lost herself, and her grief turned into anger.
Is that when you took me from her?
It wasn't long after that. Things started to fall apart before my eyes. I couldn't see another way out but to run.
The plague that turned her into the mother of demons?
No, this was something else, but cut from the same cloth. Your mother was no longer the woman I knew. The sister I had fought alongside for centuries. She was gone.
I have never heard you talk this way before, Sarah.
It's hard to walk the grounds here without churning up so many old memories. Maybe now you understand why I don't venture out here that often anymore.
You were not affected by the plague?
We were all affected, whether we were among the sick or not. I'm sure there was a time when your mother and I both would have just as soon join the dead than continue to watch the villagers suffer.
I cannot imagine you ever reaching that point.
Lilith may have been the most skilled herbalist in the New World. I saw her perform near miracles with the potions she concocted from the plants in her garden. She was consumed by the idea of finding a cure.
But she never found one.
No, despite her efforts, nothing ever worked.
I can see how that would be a dark time for both of you.
With darker times still to come.
Thank you, Sarah. Your timing may need work, but I appreciate the honesty.
Anything for you, Hunter. Anything.
If only it were always this easy to bring a family together.
Bringing Deadpool into the fray was your decision. I hope it was for the best.
Tell me about my father.
Believe it or not, you can thank your father for those good looks of yours. There is a striking resemblance.
I only have the faintest memory of him. What was he like?
He was honest, a working man, you could say, authentic. Of course, I still didn't like him, but that wasn't really his fault. I'm old enough to admit that now.
But he loved my mother?
He loved her, and she was smitten with him. As the story goes, they were happy together. For a time.
Until I came along?
You were an unexpected gift, but a welcome one. Your father was very proud.
I wish I could talk with him now.
I know that feeling all too well, kiddo. I don't scare that easily.
He sees the path. Autumn, show me the way. The son of Gaia approves. He sees the path.
Ah, Hunter, I was just admiring the collection. Someone spent a great deal of time piecing this library together. I hope you don't mind me, having a look around.
Of course not, Doctor. The library is an asset to us all.
I see I'm not the only one who's taken an interest in these works. You haven't been getting into anything precarious, I hope?
I have found something on the Abbey grounds that I think you should see.
Oh, sounds mysterious. By all means, lead the way. I typically avoid venturing this far from the Abbey, especially at night. It makes me nervous, you see. Not in the I'm concerned about your personal well-being, Doctor sense. I think he's actually more afraid of what might happen to my side of the forge without proper supervision. Which, to be fair, is a valid concern. And in most cases, I'm perfectly content to bide my time studying safely indoors. There's an unsettling air about this place.
This church belonged to a preacher named Hiram Shaw. His influence turned Salem against its coven.
A charismatic personality and a fearful populace can do much evil together.
There was more to it than that.
Yes, I suspected as much. But I'm sure there's nothing to fear with you by my side, Hunter. You were right to bring this to my attention, Hunter.
I thought it resembled one of your wards of protection.
There's a reason for that. It's the same magic Wanda invoked in her attempts to protect the Sanctum. But what is it that you're chasing out here? These wards aren't something to toy with.
I will not know for sure until I get past this. Is there any way to dispel it?
Unfortunately, no. What good would the wards of protection be if they were so easily broken? But I have been wrong before, at least recently. Do you have any suspicions as to who may have conjured this here?
No fool, so he would realize it's not him, it's not the caretaker either.
Wanda spent a great deal of time out here, and she had the power.
She does have some experience with these spells. But why would she do that?
The only way I will know for sure is to find a way through to the other side.
I'll think on it and see if I can come up with some way to assist you, Hunter. For now, though, you'll have to be patient.
second outfit. Or second armor. Based on future foundation.
I don't know, a little chaos around here could be fun.
So, the team encountered some new breed vampires up close. Your thoughts?
As Nico says, I am not a fan.
Right there with you.
Sin's involvement concerns me.
Same. I'm still not clear on why some Hydra forces left with her, and others served as vampire food.
Agreed. Hydra is involved with the vampires. It is not yet clear how.
Don't worry. I'm gathering all the intel you'll need. Soon enough, we'll kick the new breed back into whatever hell they crawled out of. Anything else on your mind?
What can you tell me about this new breed?
Well, from a spotty centuries-old reference and the data we've collected, new breed vampires are basically fangs, claws, and a bottomless stomach. They live to feed. But they don't drink blood. They eat people whole.
Can they turn humans into vampires?
Well, they create new hemolisks from whatever they can't digest. Strain suggested some kind of dark magic regurgitation.
The boundaries of dark magic are ever expanding.
And gross. I won't mind if they shrink a little.
How do classic vampires differ from new breed vampires?
These Zoomer vampires are more outgoing. They hunt in packs and don't seem to care if anyone notices them. They have similar weaknesses, sunlight still kills them, but not everything lines up. No need to invite them in, they're happy to smash through the door. Oh, and while they don't turn people into vampires, they can infect classic vampires who then serve as portable hemolisks for the new breed.
What do we know about Sin?
Apparently, she's a vampire. A vamp classic, not the new breed. That was news to me. Before that, S.H.I.E.L.D. knew her as a decently competent Hydra luminary. Sin always got a ton of leeway because she's Red Skull's grandkid.
Red Skull?
The yin to Steve's yang. Founded Hydra, fought on the wrong side of World War II, and had a nasty itch for world domination.
Do you think Sin could be working for my mother?
She and Faustus used to fight like a sack of rats. Whatever her game is, Hydra as a whole doesn't seem to be a part of it.
Thanks, Carol.
Sure thing.
It's always good to see you.
I have
The
heard
way
that
I
Wanda's
understand
power
it,
comes from
As a
Chthon.
child, Wanda... Within that mountain, the dark god Chthon had long been imprisoned, his corruptive influence an ongoing threat to the people of Transia.
And Wanda was affected?
Whether Chthon reached out to Wanda, or he found her by chance, I can't say. But Wanda was blessed or cursed by Chthon, touched by the power of chaos magic. While he had hoped to make her some sort of acolyte, she proved to be more capable than even he foresaw.
What can you tell me about Chthon?
One of the first Elder Gods, Chthon is said to have existed for tens of millions of years, well before the dawn of humanity on Earth. Believe it or not, he wasn't always the bastion of evil that we know today.
This story sounds familiar.
As the legend goes, the downfall of the old gods was actually brought upon by Chthon's brother Set, who found that by consuming his siblings, he could gain their power. After Set consumed Hypus, Chthon followed suit with the others, and in this way, many of the first gods also became the first demons.
And how did he come to be imprisoned on Earth?
In the same way Hydra has worked to restore Lilith, various cultists of the past sought to revive Chthon to wield his power. When Chthon failed to cooperate, these same cultists did the only thing they could. They locked him away again.
What do you know about Transia?
Transia is your ancestral homeland, Hunter. The birthplace of Lilith and Caretaker. It has always been a sort of magical junction, drawing in every type of occultist, sorcerer, and even the occasional Elder God. The Abbey grounds still behave in much the same way, even after all this time.
And Wundagore?
Wundagore Mountain has always played a prominent role in whatever scheme was underway. Chthon himself is said to have created the Darkhold, deep within the caverns of the mountain.
What was Caretaker like when she was younger?
I'm sure it's difficult to remember now, but Sarah wasn't always the steadfast contrarian. In our younger days, she was much more enthusiastic about dashing off to save the day, not unlike some of our younger allies among the Suns.
That does not sound like the Caretaker we know and love.
Keep in mind, Hunter, Sarah has faced a great deal of loss in her time here. Everyone she ever cared about, in fact. I would say she's earned the right to be disagreeable, at the very least. She is a very strong woman. I'm not sure I would have held up as well given the same circumstances.
Who were the Knights of Wundagore?
Another mysterious group of heroes in a world full of mysterious groups. Of course, I'm no expert on Transian history. I do know that the Knights of Wundagore were formed as a response to the growing threat of Chthon's influence near the mountain.
What exactly did they do?
Hydra was hardly the first to dabble in chthonic schemes. Many have tried and failed to awaken the Dark God. Over the centuries, the Knights fought alongside a number of allies who stood against the various crazed worshippers of Chthon.
You were there? At the witch trials?
Not initially, no. If I had been, I like to think I could have stopped them, before it was too late. I sensed something was wrong, And when the witches cried out in distress, I came to Salem as quickly as I could.
But Shaw had already committed his crimes against them?
Yes. It was a devastating discovery. And for the longest time, I blamed myself.
But you see now it was not your fault.
I've come to understand that we must accept the past and move on. But that doesn't mean I won't always carry that pain with me.
I know that feeling all too well.
I know. And I wish you didn't, dear. I really do.
Blade need anything else on your mind?
Thanks, Carol.
See ya.
You look so free up there in the sky.
If you think I'm cool, thank the people who trained me.
Feeling good today, girl.
So, Deadpool's sticking around. Good thing we don't have any HR department.
You have not set anything on fire today, have you? What you doing, Charlie?
I want to share something with you. Something I have never shared with another.
Magic,
When I was at Professor Xavier's school, I would listen to this album in my room all the time. Sometimes for many days straight.
Why?
There is not much music in Limbo, Hunter, unless you count the distant screams. But in this world, there is so much music. It is everywhere, which can be just as frightening sometimes. Limbo taught me it was best to be alone. It is how I prefer things.
You are not alone now.
Good, you noticed. The others would not understand. But I know you will, as we both have so much in common.
I suppose we are kindred spirits in a way.
Of course. We are both children of darkness who escaped our destinies and decided to forge new ones. We are both reformed, trying to be good guys now, even if we do not always succeed. It's nice to have someone to relate with.
It is it not?
Okay, enough talking. Let's listen to the album now. The second hour is when it really gets good.
Aha! Yet another victory for the hunter.
Damn it! You totally ambushed me with that pair of queens. I have to admit, I didn't think you'd be such a formidable poker player. Yet another reason to respect you.
It is just beginner's luck. I am sure your next hand will vanquish me.
There you go again, being all unexpectedly humble and generous. You're a hard demon to dislike, Hunter. Even if you are beating my butt at Hold'em.
You do not dislike me, Captain?
Don't get too excited. I didn't say I liked you either, but you've got potential.
Deal another hand, then?
I'm all in.
Easy enough for the Sorcerer Supreme to handle.
Sending your friends out to fight isn't the easiest choice, but we all know what we signed up for. See you soon.
Welcome to Tony's Scary Demon Cave. I'm Tony, and how may I assist you today? What do you think? Take your pick, Hunter. Got any blueprints for?
How can we help you, Hunter? Until next time.
If I sneak up...
Did you sleep well?